Tinder sucks. I barely get any matches, and when I do, they never reply to me. And when they do reply, they're scams or fakes, and I just don't see the point. But where else can I meet women? I don't have a big social circle, I don't have women around me, and when I do go out sometimes and I see a beautiful woman, I can't go and talk to her because she's always busy with other people and it's just not possible. So how? Is it over for me? No, it's not. In the previous video, I gave 4 ways to meet women in 2024, and only one of them was dating apps. I also mentioned social circle, social media, and cold approach, the act of approaching a woman that do not know you.
Really random. I saw you from back there and I thought you were pretty. I had to come say hello. You got the massive headphones on. I was like, she does not want to talk to anyone. I was like, let me try anyway. Just in case she might be cool. Oh, does this happen a lot then?
No, it doesn't happen.
I was going to say, I was like, oh, maybe I'm the only one that does this.
I just shouted at someone by accident on the train. I was just like, you can sit here, then I realised that I was...
So you're already pissed, this is a good start.
You know?
In this video, I will destroy all of the bullshit excuses that you hear all the time. I will show you why cold approach is not only a perfectly secure way to meet new women, but also the best way, even for an introvert, and especially for an ugly dude. Then we will explore the 2 common mistakes that guys do. And finally, give you the step-by-step process to be able to go and approach women in any situation. Let's do this. When I was 18 in 2010 and I was still a virgin, there was no Tinder really, and even when I did get the app years later, I didn't have any success on it anyways, so I quickly understood that meeting women face to face was the way to get laid. And I went every weekend in bars in the city approaching women. I did that for a solid 10 years and I became good at it. And I also had a lot of fun. Imagine going out and knowing what to do, being confident and not afraid anymore, being unfazed by rejection and getting laid with pretty women, some of them you just met. The memories you create and the stories you can tell later are so funny. You never know who you're going to meet, what's going to happen. That's what's exciting about it. Today I have accumulated so much knowledge and experience that I'm truly happy with my dating life. Thanks to the abundance of options and to my own personal development, I was able to choose the best girl among the pool of choice that I built myself. Because at some point you want to create a strong and committed relationship. I'm 31 now and it was time. So far it's been 2 years and honestly, we are the happiest couple I know. So this is what qualifies me to give you advice on this topic. But is approaching still a thing now with the feminist movements and the age of dating apps? You probably heard some women tell you that they were tired of being harassed in the street. You also heard that when they go to the club, they just want to dance with their friends and enjoy the music. You heard that at the gym, they want to work out. That's it. It's not a place to date people. So what then? Who to believe? Simple. Listen to the type of woman that you care about. But better, pay attention to how they react, not what they say. Even better, look at erotic literature for women. Did you ever read that the dude and the girl in the book met on Tinder? Nope. It's always in the everyday situations. So be smart about it. Understand that the place doesn't matter. It's you and how that matters. Truth is, a lot of women actually would love to meet someone in a natural environment, like a store or a tennis court, for example. But at the same time, they're tired of men approaching stupidly and with disrespect. So if you could learn how to do that properly, you would crush all of your competition. Moreover, you would show an important attractive quality: balls. A man that has balls but shows he is smart is a man that has the potential to be competent and so to give her a better life. And if you think, yes, but I am ugly, then you should double down on cold approach, because that's certainly where you have your biggest chances to create attraction. Because there you have time to show humor, confidence, banter, and even good smell, all of which can compensate for your average looks. Watch this video to understand what makes a man attractive. Yes, but I am an introvert. That's such an easy way out. Being introvert doesn't mean you can't go and talk to women. It means that you only engage in social situations if it brings something to you. And what else than the perspective of having a happy love relationship could motivate you? Or simply getting laid with a pretty woman. By the way, I am also an introvert. If it wasn't for women, I would still be at my mom's playing video games all day. So stop with the excuses, man. Get your ass out there and create the opportunity to learn and have fun. Alright, so when you start going out, you want to talk to girls, what happens? You wait in the line to get to the club. You go in the club. You go grab a drink. You stare at the people around you, checking out girls. You go take a leak. You come back. You wait to get more comfortable. But what are you expecting? A sign of Christ? Being passive is not helping you. You need to move your ass and try something. Anything is better than nothing. At least you learn. But this is the first mistake that guys do. They procrastinate. They wait for something to make it easy. And as time passes, they order more drinks and then more and more. And at some point, alcohol kicks in enough for them to finally do something. Problem is, they think that they're smooth at that point. They think that they're doing good, but they're not. Not only that, but they also waited so long that every girl in the club noticed them being bored to death and checking out girls doing nothing. So that doesn't really scream interesting, man. It just proves that you were too scared to take action. So what girl would feel attracted that you only talk to them when you're drunk? So alcohol is the second mistake, more precisely getting drunk. These two mistakes come from one source, the fear of rejection. You don't act because you're afraid to be rejected. You drink alcohol so you don't care about being rejected, but that's the reason why you do all of this. Don't worry, I have a solution for you. A game to help you crush your fear of rejection. This game is perfect for a crowded evening. You need to bring a friend with you. Now, if you don't have this friend to do that, find one. There are millions of men that are dreaming of finding a guy like you to take them out. You can find them online, on Instagram, on Reddit, everywhere. So the game is as following. You make a bet with your friend. The first one to get rejected 10 times wins. The key here is to agree on a harsh punishment for the loser. It's super important that the punishment is strong enough to counter your fear of rejection. Example, put $100 each and the winner takes it all. So if you don't get rejected 10 times, you lose $100. Once the game is over, several things have happened. You've approached girls, it's done, you didn't waste your time waiting like an idiot. You've associated rejection with success, so you've enjoyed it. You forced yourself to be rejected and it was harder than expected. You realize that being rejected isn't as automatic as you thought. And last, now that rejection doesn't hurt you anymore, you're no longer afraid to approach and you're even excited to do it because now it's 100% beneficial. You'll be completely comfortable, positive, and therefore at the top of your mood to reap success. Now, what if you're not in a club and you are on the street, for example? Well, one alternative to this is to just give your friend some money and ask him to give it back progressively every time you make an approach. You can also agree, for example, that if you go on an instant date with one woman, you get all your money back. Cool stuff, right? Alright, so now that you warmed up, you're not afraid anymore, it's time to think about increasing your chances of success. There are two ways to go, direct or indirect. Direct is saying something like, you are very attractive. Indirect is saying, you're making a mistake by ordering that drink, for example. The difference is in the premise, the reason why you go talk to her, at least the way she perceives it. When you go direct, you take way more risks. You basically ask her out directly, and she has to make a decision based on those first 5 seconds. But on the other hand, you waste less time, so I would do that in a place where there is a lot of women, like a music festival, for example. Now, the nuance to understand is that you can be more or less direct. It doesn't have to be a binary choice. Actually, I would never say you're very attractive because it's not only too direct, but also a bit cliché. I would say something a bit more subtle, like, I love your dress, for example. It's hinting at it makes me less obvious. It creates a bit of mystery. And also, it's way better compliment because I am validating something that she chose. So that's for the more or less direct approach. Now, what about the more indirect approach? The key here is awareness. You gotta be aware of everything that happens around you. What people say, where, do, how they look, what seems to be their intentions. That's how you will pick up something that you can then say to them. You look a bit desperate. Are you lost? I couldn't help but notice your screensaver. Is that your dog? That's the smart way, the way of the nerd. But if you want to make it easier and more fun, just go like you already knew them and say hi or I have arrived. That works well in a party environment because in those places, what you say doesn't really matter in the beginning. People are there to have fun, to be surprised and meet people. So what matters is that you stand out and then you introduce yourself. You can go up to a group of girls and say, goat cheese, I love it, even though there isn't any goat cheese. And then directly move to, what's your name, sweetie? Seems absurd? Exactly, that's the point. You have to stand out if you want to be noticed. And being absurd, it's different, it's intriguing, and it can generate a laugh. Now, if you use the indirect approach, you have to show your interest at some point. Why? Because otherwise she thinks you are either not interested and maybe playing with her, or you're too shy. And in either cases, it's not helping you. So how do you do that? Well, I'm probably gonna make a video dedicated to that topic somewhere in the future. You can contact me if you want some urgent advice. Look in the video description. So now you know about the direct and the indirect approach and the difference between them. So which approach is the best to use? In a more quiet environment like the street or a store, I would probably go more direct than in a club, for example, because club girls expect direct, so you stand out being more subtle. And street girls also, but less, and they're busier, so you have to get to the point faster. So that's it. This is how you approach women. In this video, you learn why approaching is important and the 2 common mistakes guys do, which are being passive and using alcohol too much. You then learn how to get rid of your fear by playing rejection game, and you know that you can either go direct or indirect to approach women. Try the rejection game next time and comment your results down below. If you still struggle with this, send me an email or message. All contact info is under this video. And I see you in the next one.